had for many years in London. Goldwyn is now retired and back living in Dominica enjoying his pension. He toujours got smiles so we can see the gold teeth and toujours young. I met him coming out of Floss's with the help of some staff carrying different foods, drinks, and meats to his vehicle. Myself too fast to go and ask the man what's up. Is their story start? Après moi fini travail ouais, so le kadimo descend Dominic pour finir la hamwe. I said, Goldwyn, speak in English, don't force it. Then he said, I shop with intelligence, yeah? At Floss's, you get the most reasonable prices for the bag flour, rice, sugar, milk, beers, soft drinks, water, rum, and so much more. Prices and quantities to fit your needs, mate. Mama, they come on here, mate, planner. Because you just come down and want to tell me what I know about Floss's already. That's where I shop. It's not you alone that want to save money but still get the quality goods. That's right. And if you're listening to this ad, go and check out Floss's for yourself. Next to the Rosal Market, you can't miss it.
Now opened on Sunday
Moving
from
in
10
time,
a.m.
boy. Sweet Bobby line, give me. Crayon Ratfest in Point Mission, October 21st to the 23rd. 3 nights of great fun and excitement from 6 p.m. to midnight. See you there in Point Mission for Crayon Ratfest.
Cause I'm on my way.
KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good.
Cause I'm on my way. Make home yours every day with Courts. Ooh, get value for your money. Ooh, Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Courts have it all.
Courts, make home yours.
I see Goldwyn shopping for farming supplies, so I ask him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, that's out hell sort. I've been married 37 years, look at my money farm. They say, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then you understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Get ready for a cultural and entrepreneurial explosion. The National Development Foundation of Dominica proudly presents their signature event, the 9th Annual Creole in the Streets.
On Friday, October the 17th, Great Marlborough Street will transform from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. into the ultimate Creole marketplace. Come experience the wide variety of small businesses that fuel our economy, from agro-processors and food vendors to clothing, crafts, services, and plants. The variety is vast, the energy is vibrant, and the celebration is unforgettable.
Don't miss the 9th edition of Creole.
There's Smooth.
And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
Still how smooth? Well smooth. Guinness Smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. It must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Ooh, get value for your money. Ooh, Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Courts have it all.
Courts, make home yours.
Long-awaited all-inclusive Creole cruise party. It's set to set sail at sunset to secret exclusive destinations under the canopy of a lovely, lively, vibrant, colorful celebration with non-stop entertainment by First Serenade Combo, King Dice, Reigning Calypso Monarch, Joy, Dread and the Bear. Music by DJ Shield. 6 p.m. and the journey departs the Bayfront in Roseau. It's smooth sailings along the scenic coast of independent Dominica. Come enjoy a deserving night of highly anticipated good fun, friends, and frolic. Thursday, October 23rd, all-inclusive Creole cruise party. Secure your tickets now for this extraordinary cruise journey along the coast of Dominica. Only $280 or $80 US. All-inclusive Creole cruise party. Get your tickets at Island Event Tickets /tickets Creole Cruise Party. A Bullseye Pharmacy. A call 235-6888. Thursday, October 23rd. Big prizes and surprises. Everyone from the diaspora will be there.
Esau Trading Limited 47th Independence Celebration is on. Shop $47 and over and get a chance to win $3,000 worth of vouchers. First prize winners receive a $500 voucher. Second prize winners $300 voucher. Third prize winners $200 voucher. And 20 vouchers will be available at the value of $100 each. This Independence season, Esau Trading Limited is offering senior citizens 15% discount every Wednesday from October 15th to November 25th, 2025. Also, loyalty card holders will receive double points every Tuesday and Thursdays. And customers who purchase one packet of Hare's Deep Dish Pizza 6 ounce or Hare's Restaurant Style 9 ounce will get a 1 ounce packet free, honey cheese flavored or barbecue flavored potato chip. You will also get 10% off 8 packet 1 ounce Hare's snacks. Hurry, this offer ends on November 15th, 2025. Esau Trading Limited. We are here for you.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline Lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
Big news, Dominica! Druid Center is now even closer to you with the opening of Druid Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at Do It Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Yes, some passages pour dire nous. But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Plateau. And when they tell me about my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, ma jamais avec à te spécial à l'émoté vivant. Linus Funeral Home. 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. With a 24-hour emergency service. So là, mon numéro, pas quitter rien bas tout dire. Qui est 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. If you get busy, Linus, that time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go the best chaperone. Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu family, si c'est pas Linus, il a fini à l'été.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst.
But I want all of you in my audience to listen to me very well, loud and clear. You mean to tell me that Rosie Douglas died on October 1st, 2000? Today is October 15th, 2025. If I can count, it's 25 years later, not true? You mean it's 25 years later, all you think he had a legacy? You mean it took you 25 years to know that? And in the case of Pierre Charles, it took you 21 years to know that. Because if I was Pierre Charles, I come back and slap all in the face. Because, I mean, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a real joke. And I suspect you're doing that because you're trying to save face. You're trying to buy people's heart. You will do anything to buy people's heart. To now say that after 21 and 25 years respectively, that you're honoring the legacy of service, unity, and nation building of Rosie Douglas and Pierre Charles is shameful, to say the least. I wouldn't even talk about that. People that sound hot and 4AP that can do that. You have a strong, real, strong heart that, I don't want to use a biblical word for it, to do something like that. It's a good gesture. But you have been in government all those years. You have honored every drunk, every whatever, people who just pick up anywhere and honor. And it took you that long to honor two of your outstanding leaders whom you now want to sell to us as people who left a legacy of service, unity, and nation building. Why? And Dominicans will swallow that and clap for it and say that is the best in But I want all of you in my audience to listen to me very well, loud and clear. You mean to tell me that Rosie Douglas died on October 1st, 2000? Today is October 15th, 2025. If I can count, it's 25 years later, not true? You mean it's 25 years later, all you think he had a legacy? You mean it took you 25 years to know that? And in the case of Pierre Charles, it took you 21 years to know that. Because if I was Pierre Charles, I come back and slap all in the face. Because, I mean, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a real joke. And I suspect you're doing that because you're trying to save face. You're trying to buy people's heart. You will do anything to buy people's heart. To now say that after 21 and 25 years respectively, that you're honoring the legacy of service, unity, and nation building of Rosie Douglas and Pierre Charles is shameful, to say the least. I wouldn't even talk about that. People that sound hot and 4AP that can do that. You have a strong, real, strong heart that, I don't want to use a biblical word for it, to do something like that. It's a good gesture. But you have been in government all those years. You have honored every drunk, every whatever, people who just pick up anywhere and honor. And it took you that long to honor two of your outstanding leaders whom you now want to sell to us as people who left a legacy of service, unity, and nation building. Why? And Dominicans will swallow that and clap for it and say that is the best thing that
It's 9:10. That was Pastor Randy Rodney speaking on talking points on this program, Kingdom Connection, last evening. That's his views on the decision by the government to honor Mr. Pierre Charles and Rosie Douglas. Hello, talk to me. Yes. Good. Hello.
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you.
Can you remember that the president of Dominica?
Oh, you have something playing in the background. Turn it down, please. Turn it down. You don't have to listen to yourself on the radio, okay? Please. Turn it down. Are you there? Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead now. Go ahead. Thank you.
No, I was saying, can you remember the president of Dominica traveled to Guyana to hand deliver some award to the president or prime minister of India?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, Pierre Charles or Lucy Douglas was out of the picture.
Are you asking me a question?
I'm asking you a question.
I don't know how to answer. You're basically saying at that time he could have honored both Pierre Charles and Rosie Douglas. That's your point, because he honored the prime minister, yes, of
Thank
India.
you very much. Thank you very much. You're a wise guy.
All right. Thank you. A very, very interesting observation there. Yes, at the time he honored the prime minister of India. Couldn't he honor? Did you now remember? On the telephone. Hello, talk to me.
Morning, Mark.
Morning to you. Morning.
When you have anything at the creating on your pressure check and the things there.
What happened? What happened?
When you could have that thing at the creating on checking your pressure and your blood, whatever.
I suspect it maybe today, but you can check the Goodwill Credit Union, okay? Check them out. Okay, thank you. On the telephone. Hello, talk to me, yes? Hello, yes, I'm here.
What?
Yes?
I listened to Dr. Rodney,
Mm-hmm.
and he couldn't have said it better. And this guy, I can put my money where my mouth is. That Randy Rodney, I believe, knows Ruski better than all those little boys at the time. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because Randy knows Rusi, Randy Prentice and those guys. They know Rusi very well because these are guys that used to be around in Rusi time. And they were well respected men from those days. Mark, can you imagine even those guys who stole or run away with Dominica Fund or scam Dominica into making over $120 million, which they fought in the court in the U.S. for. One of them received our highest honor. Are you aware of that, bro?
Really? I don't know if I was aware.
Kepinski, one of the guys that built Kepinski.
Oh.
You aware of that?
Mm-hmm.
Modi, and a number of other people, man. And when you have to see Rusi, to see that use his own technique, how you want to call it, to tell Dominicans he had his investors outside there. They're outside just waiting to come in. Dominicans voted and support Rusi with no money. You know what I'm saying, man?
Mm-hmm.
So we know that it's just a game. But, man, when they're playing that game, and I can tell you, all what you see happening there, going to Parliament, is a distraction. And I can tell you that you must be on your guard. Not trying to be rude to you, but they'll try to use you by throwing all little rubbish that you can distract your program. That is one where you can expose things. But they will bring some nonsense, like mowing, throw bait, for people to just jump behind it, man. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So this Quail Music Festival, we have to be guarded against that. With the amount of people that will be here, we don't want to get distracted. You understand what I'm saying, man?
Mm-hmm. I'm following you.
Really and truly, every time they believe there are people coming, they'll throw something in. So Dominicans won't stand up and be guarded against that, man. We have a lot of ills that are happening. For example, the situation where the Electoral Commission voting to prevent Dominicans who are linked in Dominica, man, never go anywhere. Voted in Dominica 10 times. And we're trying to destroy them and prevent them from voting. And the diaspora that comes here to destabilize our election, they can just pass on a tourist boat and they can confirm. Matt, I want to repeat again to Dominicans. There's an ID coming out there that every single commissioner trashes, including the free of spirit commissioners. But the next day, Duncan Stowe and the chief elections officer were in the media at a press conference showing that same ID. You understand what I'm saying, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
The commission knew nothing about Simlex, that company. We had trashed out Simlex already. Simlex came in through the back door. But these are the issues. Simlex has a reputation and God knows what. So we have to be very careful with everything, the machines, everything, how they call it, everything that coming from Simlex, Matt. So we must not be distracted, Matt. And I want to again say, Matt, Dominicans must be ready to forget political parties. If political parties want to stay there with their infighting and ensure that we move that government, get all the leaders in the country to come together under one umbrella, Matt. That trust that party thing. This party ready? There's an organized party that have all its members. We will go with them. If they're not ready, we cannot stay there waiting for them. Dominicans, I cannot take 25 more years. I might as well go on my knees to scare it and say, forgive me, Daddy. That is what they want to see happening. Some people love to be in opposition. And Matt, we must stand up. It's either you unite and fight, or leave these people in their business. Matt, now is a time when we should be calling all the leaders. I said it once and I was taken to task. And I'm saying it again. People like Joshua Francis that is connected. He should be healing himself with his new party thing and come back to UWP. And come back to UWP to take that corrupt regime down. Not unless we see it's the political party calling on all the people who have walked away. All of them. The party is nobody's party, Matt. That is what they must do, or Dominicans must say goodbye. Otherwise, they're going to be 30, 35, 40 years in opposition, Matt. But you agree with me or you don't agree with me?
I agree with you. There has to be. There has to be.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying there has to be, a move for the parties to come together. And I'm hearing a lot of, within circles that there's some debate going on within the United Workers' Party as it relates to the invitation, if you will, of Joshua Francis back to the party. Would that be a good move? That's everybody's guess.
That's what without saying. Joshua Francis is one of the most outstanding politicians in Dominica.
So you're saying that Joshua should dismiss the fact that he has his own party? That's what you're saying?
I am saying he must abandon that own party for now. We must go to him. And if he cares about Dominica, he should abandon the issue of own party at this time for the goodness and to save Dominica. If he wants to go with his own party, he's just as selfish as the others. At this time, we must make a move and ask him, plead with him. Joshua have an infectious spirit, politically, Matt. And those you see that fighting, they just have a name. Matt, I'm telling you, if Dominicans sit down there and follow politicians they love, Dominica will be in to perish again. We'll go down the bottom. Because we hear, I like that one, I love that one, that rubbish must stop. I do not believe that anybody has shown the kind of leadership to take us care at this time. However, I'm not saying just you have to come as leader, I'm saying he must be on board. But all the parties, all those that fighting, come together, everybody. Unless you do that, Matt, look at how Skerrit embracing everybody. Skerrit embraced Peony. After all he said, they kill his father. They still have him on board. What worse can you tell a man say about you, Matt? What worse can a man say? What? These guys believe they are God. and nobody must speak.
So you say basically the move by Skerrit at this time to honor both Rosie and Pierre Charles is a distraction. That's your point.
That's not screen match. It's to distract the people that are coming in, make them see him as a hero. And we here on the ground fighting against each other. After last delegates conference for them people, you don't see nothing happen in terms of unity. That type pulling there, that type pulling there. And you know what? Every time you speak, they jump in on your back. I'm waiting for them. Every time you speak and try to get a movement to move a corrupt regime on our back, they send an idiot. They send an idiot to attack you. But I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm saying that I tired in opposition, man. I fed up in opposition, man. I sure I would be accepted in some anywhere. But because of the man I am, I'm a man of principle, man. I work hard. As broke as I am, I wouldn't fall. It's not in my nature. And I call in on Dominican, every one of you in the different constituency that fed up the opposition, talk to your leaders and tell them stop their selfishness. Tell them let's get together. Forget your differences. No man is bigger than the other. Nobody to own a party, man. And when you look at them, they're not even campaigning, you know. Some of those that make him the big issue on the big show, trying to make it look like they are the boss. They're not nowhere on the ground. You don't see them Rosso, you don't see them Timcho, you don't see them Sauce, you don't see them nowhere. But they're in charge. They're not want to play boss. That attitude can go nowhere. Okay? And I myself waiting when election comes to take my position. If it cannot work, I tell you what I'm going to do, I just say. I declare myself, I forsake.
All right, Mr. Hillary Schillenford. All right, Dominica. Mr. Hillary Schillenford, of course, basically saying, you know, this is just a distraction. And he's saying, thank you, Hillary. You know, this division that's going on, perceived division going on there with the United Workers' Party. They should allow Mr. Joshua Francis back. That's his point. And Joshua, yourself, is basically saying, you know, this UPP thing should be set aside. Everybody should come together to fight the common monster. That's his position. That's Hillary Schillenford, outspoken all the time. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Hillary Schillenford, you make me happy this morning because I've been talking about that. Choose all the best man, choose everybody, invite Joshua and everybody to stand to see what we can do. Because it's the devil we want to take out on the road. Thank you, Mr. Schillenford. Thank you.
9:24. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Good morning, Matt.
Morning to you, sir.
I'm pretty much in agreement with Mr. Schillenford, but there's something that's on my mind, Matt, and I'm not sure about it.
What's that?
Isn't it the job of the president to dish out these awards? I've heard over and over people mistaking Roosevelt Skerrit for head of state. Even the commissioner of police did it at a graduation ceremony of young policemen. I'm saying to myself, how the hell he can make a mistake like that in front of his new graduates? And even Skerrit came to the podium after and said, he was introducing Skerrit, and Skerrit said, I'm not the head of state. He said it just like that, and he went on to do what he had to do. But many people are making that mistake. Roosevelt Skerrit is the head of the government. The president is the head of state. And I believe that that's the person who should be giving out these awards, not the prime minister. But I do not know better, so maybe somebody can help me with it, Matt. Thank you.
Nine 25. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Hi, Matt. Morning. How are you?
How are you?
Matt, it's a while I haven't spoken on the political issue.
Okay.
But listen to me. I am in favor of Hillary and Schillenford and the others. I am sick of that fighting. And I am telling them, that is a call coming from the Roseau Valley. I tell all you, Jones, I have never voted for the Labour Party, but I am telling you all, if you all don't put your act together, choose from the best and do something good, I am going to vote me and all my family for the Labour Party. And what happened, because this is too much greed and this is too much nonsense that is going on. I mean, all my life I've been in United Workers' Party. Not that some of the people in the Labour Party are not good people, because Dr. McIntyre is a very good man. I do it for the people, but I do it for myself. But because of principle, I told him, I am with the United Workers' Party and I will be voting for it. And if I had go to Dr. McIntyre and spoke to him on anything personally, he would be willing to help me. So for me, I don't know for others, I'm speaking about myself. For me, he's a good man. Okay? But I chose to support the United Workers' Party. And I am telling them, I have how many votes in my surroundings. If you all don't put your act together in the Roseau Valley, let me tell you all something. You are a rude awakening. People will vote and they'll vote and they'll vote for the Labour Party. And you all will remain zero because you all are too greedy, selfish, and selfish. Thank you very much. You like it, you don't like it. I'm not depending on anybody for my bread. Thank you. Blessed.
Thank you. So I'm hoping that the leadership of the parties listen to those views there. Put your act together, put your differences aside and come together. That's basically the point I'm getting here this morning from some of the callers. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Two things quickly, Matt. Matt, I want to agree with Hillary Shillingford. Hillary, more glory be to you, and thank you for your contribution this morning. Thanks. I noticed you're a man that have like a no holds barred kind of attitude. I'm not going to say like who, like Matt. Matt, you like that now? Matt, everybody have their own opinion, and I respect that. Because we think we are there to be apologists and make all kinds of excuses for criminal activities and for games and for victimization, corruption, and all of that. Matt, what that appearing to be a glass is a plastic cup. Matt, if you're outside and you're looking at a plastic cup, can you know if it is empty, full, or half, Matt?
Really?
So all those who think it's a glass, you cannot see what is in that container there. It's a cup. It is empty. About half full, not even quarter, and it is empty because it's a plastic glass. But I want to say something. But if you have let's say, God forbid, I pray that is not your portion, a vehicle accident, and you see in one of your staunch enemies coming, and they're the only one, maybe three of them, and they come in and try to have you extricated or removed from that wreck because it is all mangled and you're there and you get stuck. And Matt, would you say, I don't want you to help me, Matt?
No.
No. That would be foolish. That would be hatred from the pit of hell. That would be arrogance. And your ego would be greater than the objective, your very life you're trying to save. So all of you that love Dominica, love country, and all you can be so bitter, more than cascara. I want to agree with Hillary. I've said it already. If all you have to form a coalition of all the parties, not dissolve or come together as political parties, collaborating, because a lot of people, their ambition, their egos are greater than the objective. So yeah, freedom, bosso. I know all you have all your own pride and you whatever all you have. But bury that. We're in a situation where that is, they said desperate times call for desperate measures. Forget all your foolishness and all those who don't want to come on board. Dr. Fontaine, leave them. If you have to hijack UWP, we don't do, Matt. Look, somebody must have bring a blood vessel. You there with me, Matt?
Yep.
I hope it's not by the heart or the head. Maybe in the hand or in the leg. But not to burst a blood vessel in the head or the heart. I need all your life. If Dr. Fountain just have to be quite bold and do what he has to do. I know there is executives and all kind of laws that govern things. Be like Scary, boss. Be like Scary. Just do what you have to do and let the chips fall wherever they may. I know I'm ignorant, I'm stupid, I'm uneducated, I am a damn geese and all kind of things all you that listening can see about me or when you hear the thing. Not something drastic needs to be done. We cannot stay there watching Dominica going down progressively. As I said last week there, we are progressively regressing, Mark. And Dominicans want to stay there and talk about, oh, who say that about me? Oh, who likes me? Who don't like me? Who I like? Matt, you have the potential. And that is what is happening in Dominica, Matt. Mediocrity, square pegs in wrong hole. Because Matt is my friend or my cousin or something, I have to give him the work, knowing he cannot execute a proper finish. He cannot give me a proper finish or a solid finish. I will give it to the labor right because it's he that can do it. I will give it to the man that is a distant friend or I don't even know him. I go build a house, I go give it to my family, and I know you can even well build house. Sorry, my brother, you'll have to work on the mister, but I given Mr. the project. Would you agree with me, Matt?
Of course.
So all this little foolishness, Josh, my beloved brother, I've spoken to you publicly on radio and privately. Josh, you have to compromise. I am asking you, don't have to do anything. I'm not your slave master or slave driver. But I'm pleading with you, my brother, like Hillary did. Do what all you have to do. Forget about all this little this little foolish haters. And do what all you have to do to save this country because Scary don't give a damn, Matt. As they say, go to hell. It's not your damn business. Can you imagine Tiani initiating something, bringing a leader from foreign, come to Dominica, and guess what? No appearance, my worship, because he's that bold-faced, he's that rude, he's that ruthless. He don't care about anybody. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. You know, I'm on my phone monitoring the text messages. Somebody's on Facebook. What's his name? Oh, I think his name is I'm trying to get the name in. He says I'm not listening. You have no idea, my brother. In this job, you have to multitask. You have to listen to and, of course, read everything, okay? Thank you very much. 449-3095. I want to put you in that situation there for 2 minutes. You'll find out just what's going on. 449-3095-96 and 97. A call, and most of the text messages read, I agree with Hillary. And I agree what Pastor Rodney says just a short while ago.
All of you in my audience to listen to me very well, loud and clear. You mean to tell me that Rosie Douglas died on October 1st, 2000. Today is October 15th, 2025. If I can count, it's 25 years later, not true? You mean it's 25 years later, all you think he had a legacy? You mean it took you 25 years to know that? And in the case of Pierre Charles, it took you 21 years to know that. Because if I was Pierre Charles, I'd come back and slap all in the face. Because, I mean, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a real joke. And I suspect you're doing that because you're trying to save face. You're trying to buy people's heart. You will do anything to buy people's heart. To now say that after 21 and 25 years respectively, that you're honoring the legacy of service, unity, and nation building of Rosie Douglas and Pierre Charles is shameful, to say the least. I wouldn't even talk about that. People that sound hot and 4AP that can do that. You have a strong, real, strong heart that, I don't want to use a biblical word for it, to do something like that. It's a good gesture. But you have been in government all those years. You have honored every drunk, every whatever, people who just pick up anywhere and honor. And it took you that long to honor two of your outstanding leaders, whom you now want to sell to us as people who left a legacy of service, unity, and nation building. Why? And Dominicans will swallow that and clap for it and say that it's best.
Good morning to you. Somebody there from Grand Bay says it's over 21 years since Pero died, and the Labour Party government has not seen it necessary to complete his monument at the Pierre Charles Boulevard at Grand Bay. His wife was parliamentary representative for 10 years, 2009 to 2019, and she did not see it necessary as well. She should be ashamed to receive this honor on his behalf. So you're saying to me that this Pierre Charles monument was never completed? Interesting, and that's somebody from Grand Bay sharing that information with me. So he must be aware. 449-3095-96 and 97. More telephone calls. We'll switch the subject in the next few minutes, okay? There's so many issues to explore, so many issues. But most of the text messages I read this morning, I continue to read, say, I agree with Mr. Hillary Shillingford. You know, all this pride and division has to stop within the United Workers' Party. Hello, talk to me, yes.
Good morning, Mark.
Morning to you, yes.
And how are you doing, sir?
I'm here.
All right, let me tell you. You see, all this talk we have talked for years.
Yes.
And all this talk we are still talking.
Mm-hmm.
We are not gaining anything. And you see, peace and peaceful hope, my people, my opposition leaders, including myself, are talking about peace and peaceful. And we are facing a government who they are wicked, they are warlike. We cannot win, we cannot gain anything from them people unless we continue the war they opened on us, they declared on us on March 19th, 2025. We have to continue that war because it was not supposed to stop the way it stopped there. 2 hours fighting for your rights. That is not enough. That is not enough, man. It is not enough. We one protest a year is not enough for us in Dominica because we have a wicked, evil government. So we have to take it differently. No, we have to have another way of protesting. We're not going to go and stand up in front or behind a barricade and say we're protesting. There are many other ways we can protest. And we have to think of another way. We have to take it another way. If it's by night we have to protest. Let's protest by night. Maybe we might be more successful. Thank you very much, but I'll see the rest another day.
Thank you very much. It's 9:39 in the morning. Of course, we're here. This is the hot seat. Dominique is pregnant with issues, huh? And there's more. We're taking a quick break and we're coming back. When we come back, another issue, huh? Another issue. Come back.
going shopping for farming supplies. So I asked him, what are you doing inside Bloombox? You have a farm? He tell me, Gus, how tell short. I've been married 37 years. Look at my money farm. He said, no, not woman, like land for farming crops. And then he understand, Bloombox is the most affordable on island. Knapsacks starting at only $57.71. Elsewhere, it's $300 plus. Cutlass seeds, seeding trays, nursery pots, sales of potting mix, all at way better prices than anywhere else. Fertilizers, 3-in-1 multi-tool, and so much more. Located on Federation Drive, Goodwill. Second property on the right after the Valley Link Road and on the corner of Drury Lane and Hanover Street in Rosal. Bloombox. Let's bloom together.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Ooh. Get value for your money. Ooh. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Courts have it all.
Courts. Make home yours.
Get ready for a cultural and entrepreneurial explosion. The National Development Foundation of Dominica proudly presents their signature event, the 9th Annual Creole in the Streets. On Friday, October the 17th, Great Marlborough Street will transform from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. into the ultimate Creole marketplace. Come experience the wide variety of small businesses that fuel our economy, from agro-processors and food vendors to clothing, crafts, services, and plants. The variety is vast, the energy is vibrant, and the celebration is unforgettable. Don't miss the 9th edition of Creole.
There's Smooth. And then there's Guinness Smooth.
It's a brand new cool.
Incredibly smooth.
Perfectly balanced.
For a smooth and refreshing taste.
Still how smooth? Well smooth. Guinness Smooth.
For a smooth and refreshing taste. New Guinness Smooth. Must be 18 years or older. Drink responsibly. Socialize responsibly.
Locally distributed by Belfast Estate Limited.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Ooh. Get value for your money. Ooh. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Courts have it all.
Courts. Make home yours.
Long-awaited all-inclusive Creole cruise party is set to set sail at sunset to secret exclusive destinations under the canopy of a lovely, lively, vibrant, colorful celebration with non-stop entertainment by First Serenade Combo, King Dice, Reigning Calypso Mona, Joy, Dread and the Bear. Music by DJ Shield. 6 p.m. and the journey departs the Bayfront in Rosal. It's smooth sailings along the scenic coast of independent Dominica. Come enjoy a deserving night of highly anticipated good fun, friends and frolic. Thursday, October 23rd, all-inclusive Creole cruise party. Secure your tickets now for this extraordinary cruise journey along the coast of Dominica. Only $280 or $80 US. All-inclusive Creole cruise party. Get your tickets at Island Event Tickets /tickets Creole Cruise Party. A Bullseye Pharmacy. A call 235-6888. Thursday, October 23rd. Big prizes and surprises. Everyone from the diaspora will be there.
Esau Trading Limited 47th Independence Celebration is on. Shop $47 and over and get a chance to win $3,000 worth of vouchers. First prize winners receive a $500 voucher. Second prize winners $300 voucher. Third prize winners $200 voucher. And 20 vouchers will be available at the value of $100 each. This independence season, Esau Trading Limited is offering senior citizens 15% discount every Wednesday from October 15th to November 25th, 2025. Also, loyalty card holders will receive double points every Tuesday and Thursdays. And customers who purchase one packet of Hare's Deep Dish Pizza 6 ounce or Hare's Restaurant Style 9 ounce will get a 1 ounce packet free honey cheese flavored or barbecue flavored potato chip. You will also get 10% off 8 each packet 1 ounce hair snacks. Hurry, this offer ends on November 15th, 2025. Isa Trading Limited. We are here for you.
Auto Trade introduces our newest line of lubricants, Valvoline, America's first branded motor oil. Valvoline has been formulating and improving motor oil longer than any other brand. From the world's first racing oil to the world's first synthetic blend, Valvoline has been trusted in engines around the world for over 150 years. Make the switch today. Choose Valvoline, the original motor oil. At Auto Trade, we only recommend the best in quality because at Auto Trade, it's more than a vehicle. It's a relationship. Valvoline lubricants, now distributed by Auto Trade.
Well, you remember yesterday we were discussing the issue as it relates to the issue of mining at the Devonsh area and the calls for the government to cease that project being conducted there in that area, Devonsh area, and the destruction of the rivers maybe causing at this time. Well, we had a call yesterday from one of the acolytes of the Labour Party who says this could all stop, This could all stop. If Mr. Edison James, somebody actually said, well, I found out yesterday, said that Mr. James, the former Prime Minister, was the one who is preventing the mining taking place at the Clapper Hall. It used to take place at the Clapper Hall estate because he filed an injunction indicating that there should be limited mining at that Clapper Hall estate, which belongs to his family there. And of course, the source basically said this is just not true because, of course, in that injunction to the court, they said you could operate that quarry between 8 and 5, and there should be none there on the weekend. But instead of adhering to that court order, the authorities, the government chose to go to the Devonsh area. Now this mining is taking place. Mr. Clarence Christian called in and said this yesterday. Said this. Listen.
There would have been no reason, absolutely no reason, for the airport development to look for another quarry site and set up another crusher to crush stone. Absolutely no reason. The reason why we are here is because the quarry was set up in Clapper Hall, utilizing the lands of government and the land of Celia Fidel. Government was utilizing its own land and the land of Celia Fidel. That is the very same land Edison James, Chenfield James, as Prime Minister, had leased from Celia Fidel and was utilizing the government land, the very same landmark, to put up a crusher in the very same area to crush material for the international airport that his government, that he was Prime Minister of, was going to build. So there was, and let me tell you again, the company was owned 60% for Edison James and 40% for his wife, Wilma James. So he and his wife owned the company. and he was going to cross land in the very same area. Edison James, the government was using the very same area and using the crusher, and the crusher, they were crushing stones from 7 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock in the night, Monday, Sunday to Sunday. Edison James signed an injunction to stop completely the operation in the court. He filed an injunction to stop the operations in the court. The court did not give a full stoppage, but the court severely curtailed the operations by only giving the operation 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays. They could not operate on a Saturday, they could not operate on a Sunday as they were doing. Because of that, the stockpiling of material was behind, is still behind. The stockpiling of material is still behind. So a new crusher and a new quarry area was needed, hence the Baywatch area. So if you, McPeltier, listen to me very well, if you, McPeltier, want to stop the quarry at Baywatch, unless in Kalinago territory, Ernie Edwards, and all of them, all they have to do is make a delegation to Edison Chenfield James and ask him to remove the partial injunction that is on the quarry at Cracker Hall.
Are you saying Mr. Edison James has the answer because you have no other alternatives? That's your point to me?
What alternative is?
I'm saying, but don't you have any other alternatives? I'm asking you a question.
Let me ask you that. What if Edison James had the very same area? This is what you have to understand. But all that is happening now is an effort to delay the construction of the international airport, which is well on its way. It is well. A plane can land there currently.
A plane can land there currently? Yes? You say a plane can land there currently?
If a plane is in distress, it will land on the jet. It will land on this. Not on something, but it can land.
Clarence, do you, and I suspect you're speaking on behalf of the company, I suspect you work there as well as some accountant or the other. Do you think that the Chinese or the people who manages this quarry care about the environment and the lives is destroying and the river is destroying at this point?
There is nobody who care about the environment more than the Chinese. And the Chinese are not working for themselves, they're working for the government of Dominica who is building an international...
So you're admitting that the government gives them permission to do the quarry they're doing right now, yes?
They cannot go there without the government permission.
Okay, I just wanted to get that point.
Right? And so all you have to do, Matt, and Ernie Edwards, and Baptiste, and all of them, go to Edison James. Ask Edison James to remove the impartial injunction that he has on Cracker Hall. That's what you have to do. Thank you, man. That's what I have to say.
That's all you have to say. I was going to ask you another question, but again, we will continue. So, Mr. Edison James, you heard Clarence's question. You know, he's saying that a plane can land right now. If a plane is in distress, it will be able to land at the current. Of course, we will of course get Mr. Edison James's side to give his side of the story because he's actually indicating that he's the one, that of course forced government hands in terms of going to the site there in Baywatch. Mr. Edison James is on the telephone at this time. Mr. Edison James, good morning to you, sir. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Matt, and good morning to your listeners. Matt, let me get right into this thing.
Thank you.
I've heard it said that you should never mud wrestle with a pig because the pig will beat you any time if you go down in the pit to mud wrestle with a pig. I do not intend to do that. And I do not intend either to get involved in the details, the weeds of the matter which is before the court. That would be inappropriate. Just want to make some clarifications there.
Please.
It is absolutely and totally not true that the government is engaged on in crushing on a site that belongs to Silfadel. That is totally and utterly untrue. The site where they are operating now was leased to them by a son of Mr. Andre Laville. And it is absolutely untrue that there was ever any intention on my part, any plan to operate a crusher where the current crusher is being operated at. These are totally untrue. Then there also needs to be a distinction between a crusher and a quarry. There's a distinction between a crusher and a quarry. This gentleman keeps getting his knickers in a twist over that. Okay? There's no crushing operation being carried out now by the airport people on land belonging to Silfadel. That is not true. Good. The assertion, as a matter of fact, let me say this again. There's a situation in which I felt I had to go to the court for redress because of actions taken by the planning authority in this country with respect to the authorization for the operation of a crusher in a particular location. The law of the country, the Planning Act, provides for the scheme under which certain activities like this will take place. The planning authority must be approached and the planning authority must give permission within the context of the law. It is our view that with respect to the particular crushing operation, that the law was not adhered to, and we went to the court. I didn't go fighting in the road or anything. I went to the court for the court to adjudicate the matter. The court, in its wisdom, felt that it was necessary to restrict the operation. You heard this employee of the company say that the operations were taking place round the clock from Sunday to Sunday up to 11 o'clock. That cannot be reasonable in any situation for a crusher generating the level of noise that's generating. It cannot be reasonable, and that therefore the court, in its wisdom, decided that that was not reasonable. Okay? The assertion is that it is because of that partial injunction that the company had to go and open up a crusher or a quarry somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I want to emphasize again, that is the crusher. There's no matter before the court that I'm involved in that has to do with any restriction on the operation of the quarry. This gentleman is the gentleman who said that somebody was going to China to get a quarry. So he has a problem with understanding that I'm trying to help clarify. Okay? There's no issue. There's no issue before the court about the operation of the crusher. And if, therefore, it is a matter of crushing, which it should be, the same source of the material for crushing to make up the type is there where the crusher is, where the quarry is being operated. So you could take the quarry material from there and take it to wherever you have to do the additional crushing. You understand? Mm-hmm. So the gentleman is all confused, totally confused. And he comes across as being so hateful. You hear his tone. Had not cool down. You can, I'm not going to, I've been advised not to mud wrestle with a pig. The pig would always beat me. So I'm not going to do that. It's your facts. And it is shameful that you have a situation where an authority, a government, public authority, is accused or is recognized as operating outside of the law. And a citizen is being taken to task for going to the law for adjudication. If the court adjudicates in a particular way against that adjudicant, that is how it is. Mm-hmm. But we are now talking about what's happening up at Deboash. If it is a question of getting material, they have a crusher somewhere else, then they can get the material from the same quarry, which is operational now. You understand? Mm-hmm. So the other thing is, where the operation is happening now in Deboash, I think I heard from Anne a suggestion and indication that there's no planning permission given for that. For an operation like that, it must require approval of the planning authority, and it must require an EIA. The law provides for that, an environmental impact assessment. And to the extent that an environmental impact assessment is necessary under the appropriate provisions of the law, then part of that EIA operation is what they call stakeholder engagement. It is mandatory in EIAs that the stakeholders are engaged, discussion with them, tell them what is going to happen, show them the various aspects of it, and they will exchange. It's mandatory. I am from the community. I'm not aware of any such stakeholder engagement, which suggests to me that there has been no EIA that has been approved. And that is another problem. So we need to deal with that. And a government functionary, an employee of the company, for him to be on radio persistent like that, obviously exposing the fact that the company might not have been received the planning permission, which means it will be unlawful. I think it's frightening, and the company should look to see whether they are comfortable with an employee of theirs spewing out that rubbish in the public space. You understand? So much in a nutshell, I felt that there was a need for the court to intervene in a matter of public interest. As a responsible person, I didn't go making noise. I didn't go disrupting. I went to the court for the court to arbitrate on the matter, and that's where it is. And I believe all of us should be interested in saying, in urging, that with respect to what is happening up at Daybwash, that the law is respected. And to the extent that there is need for planning permission, and I think there is, that should happen. That's what we should be encouraging. This foolishness, this arrogant, stupid foolishness from an employee of the company. But you should ask the company whether they are comfortable with their employee getting involved in this public aberration about what should be happening and what they're involved in. Probably that should happen, because it's just out of place. But as I said finally, I've been advised, and I know that you should never mud wrestle with a pig, because the pig will always win, and I do not expect to lose.
Mr. James, thank you. There's no need to ask any further questions at this point. More questions on the other table, on the other paper at this point. Mr. Edison James, a former Prime Minister of Dominica. We also heard from, of course, oh boy. Mr. Clarence Christian, you've been advised to stay in your lane. 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 Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Mr. Taylor, tell Mr. Christian, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, my boy. If it's the accounting you're dealing with, you live accounting, you might be a good accountant, but stay in your lane. The issue there is not whether or not there is an injunction on the site that was originally approved or whatever for the mining or extraction of material for the construction of the airport. The issue is this suitability and the fact whether or not the environmental impact assessment has been done for the new site that you chose for the extraction of material. And the public, concerned public, including myself, and Mrs. Edwards, who is also very qualified in that area, is saying what is going on there is very negatively impacting the environment. And I am saying, Mr. Christian, that you can solve the problem. You think the solving of the problem is bringing the politics into it. I'm not interested in what Mr. Edison James. They can deal with it, the court can deal with it. If you decide, okay, there is an injunction on one side, so we have to find an alternative site. Then the same studies you have done for the site of the, you said there is an injunction on, show that you have done the studies. And therefore, the activity or the extraction taking place on that new site is okay. It's according to the environmental, to the planning act, etc., etc. This is the issue. This is what I have been, I said, let the proof, if the concerns here prove that, hey, we have done the studies, we have the injunction on that area. We have identified a new site. We are satisfied that the work and the extraction activity taking place there is within the planning act, and it's suitable. It meets international standards. Why do you want to bring up politics? I'm trying to wrap around my head what is really taking place or happening with the government. We know the history of this.
All right, very, very interesting there. also heard from Annie earlier, Annie Edwards, as to a solution going forward. Want to repeat that for you before we take your phone calls at this time. Annie? Yes?
The only time that government seem to respond is when you what they call boots on the ground. So, Concord is an interesting community. On one side of the river, it's part of Marigot, and on the other side, it's part of the Kalinago territory. So, the first person who actually told me about that development was the chairman of the Marigot Village Council, who was so concerned that, he was trying to get information and there was no information coming through. That's Mikey Pascal. So after subsequently we have been talking, but I think to me the time has come for the Marigot Village Council to start mobilizing people in that area all the way to Concord, and those on the Kalinago chief to mobilize and we come together. And in fact, as many Dominicans as possible, because this thing is really hurting Dominicans in general. Just imagine you're driving, everybody uses that road to drive to the airport, and when you're passing, you see all this mud on the road, and they don't even clean up the place. They just leave all the mud for you to drive in. Yeah, I think the time has come for us to come together and make us go on the road and let these people know this is not going to continue. We are not going to lose an entire river for an airport, because we are right in the source of the river. It's not like what they did in some of the other areas is closer to the mouth, so maybe you can rehabilitate. If you destroy the source of the river, then the river is gone.
Now we can take your phone calls. It's 10:07 in the morning. You heard Clarence Christian, you heard Mr. Addison James, you heard Annie Edwards, you heard... Oh boy, more views on the Concord situation there. Hello? And the mining taking place. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Morning, Matt.
Morning to you,
Good morning.
sir. Yes.
Yeah, Matt, I love Edison James. When Edison James speaks, he is very clear. It is, crystal clear. It's like drinking clean water. So, and I'm happy to see that he treated the pig like a misinformed human being. He made that clear, that he was not treating this man as a pig. He was treating him as a misinformed human being. And he did cite that Clarence Christian once said that they went to China to get what, Matt? A quarry.
Yes, a quarry, but I think he apologized since then. He did apologize.
He did apologize?
He did.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yes,
because, he needs to know the difference between a quarry and a stone crusher. Now, these crushers, Matt, not only are they loud, but they shake the ground. The ground shakes. So if you're in proximity of a stone crusher, your whole house is really vibrating besides the noise. The other thing is that it is convenient to have a type of crusher close to where you are mining, and you break it down to a certain size so that the trucks can transport it closer to the site, where it goes through another crushing process or processes to bring it down to what they use for concrete, something they call 3/4 grade or something like that. So there are a series of crushing of stone that may occur. It's not just one crusher. It may be convenient to have one close to the site. So now about pollution, the rivers. When you pollute the top of the river, you kill all the crayfish and all the gobies and all those fish, the mealy, all those fish have a hard time. But the mouth of the river is where all the eggs of all these fish go to hatch and to develop. So there's a connection between the top of the river and the bottom of the river. Either end you mess with, you're going to destroy the environment in the river. All the species in the river are going to be affected, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you. There's, of course, a viewpoint going on the phone there.
I had to add my voice on this matter. I have to say, the people in authority who can do something about this don't care. They don't care.
I cannot believe at this stage of our development, with so many engineers, including environmental engineers, so many educated people, our treatment of the environment, the protection, is heading in the opposite direction of our education. We need to do something about this. The protection of our waterway.
We lost that one. They will come back. 4493095. We'll come back to that voice note in a minute. Hello, yes? Call up.
Not finally, and I turn enough that radio. I don't want to call again. Trust me. Matt, I want to give Clarence an advice, and please permit me. I'm not being rude or anything. Matt, they're technical people. I think that would give Clarence. You there with me?
Yes. Go ahead, Blessing. Go ahead. Yes.
That could give Clarence some sensible information. It may not be true, but something that sounds intelligent enough and where common sense is concerned enough. Talk to them. Not even scared that would advise you to make those interventions. Or they're just telling you, go and talk on that. He's talking about the impartial, if you listen to it again, the impartial injunction. It's a partial injunction, Mr. Christian. It's a partial injunction. So you can operate from 6 to 8 and listen to Edison James telling you the quarry is still accessible. So, Matt, I tell you, that is the playbook of dictators. Or you want to prevent me from operating there, I am going to cause more damage because I run things, go to hell is not a damn business. No law, no constitution. That's scary and his behavior, Matt. So I am just saying most of the times I listen to Clarence because they send me some like a written thing when he talk about the quarry. They go to China looking for a quarry, then all the criticism and everything he remember is a crusher. Do you think if he had a written information, Matt, he would make that error?
I don't think so.
So that's what I'm saying. And now we're talking about a plane in distress can land up there. Who are giving you those information? Your thing is on accounting. Maybe you should try to talk to people when you want to get out of your lane or study it and come and say something sensible. He's making a fool of himself repeatedly. And that level of desecration, disrespecting, violating, destroying something so sacred, still Dominica is virgin, Matt. So all the things, when we have copper, we have gold. Matt, tell them go places in Africa and other places where they're mining. Matt, there's some kind of, that's not even a pit, that's not a hole. Matt, they just, all forests have to go. And they keep digging, and there are all kind of chemicals to process, if it's the gold or whatever, that getting into the waterways and is waterways and all kind of contamination, fishes dying, all kind of things. So when you hear about gold, let's say Dominica gold, why are you going to sacrifice for it? Based on the geology, based on the mountains, the rivers, and the forest, and all of that. What are you willing to give for it? Because you start digging Dave Wash. And Dave Wash means 2 branches, man? So you have 2 rivers maybe meeting up to make one. I think that is what Dave Wash is 2 branches. So when you start there, then where you notice Kalinago area have, then you notice by Marigot have, and then you start evicting people, acquiring people land, and all kind of thing like that. But Dominica is much too sensitive an area for any mad lunatic, well, it's the same thing, that's an oxymoron, for any lunatic to think they can just come and give the Chinese access to do anything in Dominica, and I will revert to Hillary again, Matt. Matt, by any means necessary, all friends, all foes, all enemies, whatever it is, foes is enemies. We need to get together to stop that. But how can a prime minister, Roosevelt Skerrit, say he loved Dominica? Have you heard him say that much how much he loved Dominica?
He says that repeatedly. Yes, he does.
Always he talking about his love for country, and them fellas don't love the country. Them fellas trying to destroy the country. Them fellas have no love for people, and them fellas don't doing. And he always, how can you be that loving, my brother? I know it's a fuck tongue you have, like the snake. When you see the snake and the lizard, that giant lizard putting out the tongue, you're seeing two tips. So you're speaking on the both sides of your mouth and whistling down the middle at the same time. And you're looking to do everything. Like there are boulders all on the West Coast. As Annie was saying, you get a badge and you transport those boulders from the West Coast to Marigot there. It would cut the time in half rather to go there, and digging and excavating and desecrating and doing all kind of madness, looking for what you say that is boulders. And a brother said yesterday, I can't remember who said, it looked like it had more topsoil than boulders. So how deep you have to dig to access the boulders? When you have boulders all on the West Coast that are exposed, they're greening and saying you can come and harvest me if you want. But something secret is happening in Dominica. And all of what you think, or you have all your education, or you have all your job, or you have all your house, or you have all your scholarship, or your family to protect. 2 days Matt, but tomorrow is you. 2 days Eddie Sir James. 2 days Dave Wash. When your time comes, you will know. Thank you, bro. That's it.
All right. Thank you. More telephone calls. It's 10:17 in the morning. Hello, yes?
Yes, Matt, I want you to give me a few seconds to really ask my question, and I would like you to have a little patience with me. Please, I am calling. I'm from Grand Bay, and I'm living in Guadeloupe. And I have been speaking to some Grand Bayrians who were given houses by the government. And some of them were not talking to me because I was labeled as somebody which is not supportive to the actual political party. And this is not true. I am not that type of person that will go over in discouraging things that are beneficial towards for collective interests. I'm just bringing that to your attention. And I really would like you to listen to me carefully. I, myself, there are things that the government has done. I am supportive to. And there are things I am not supportive to. I can understand there are people who are politically giving support to the political parties, and they will do whatever they can to support and to defend their political parties. But myself, I have learned to give preferential treatment to the collective, to people in general, and not to political parties. I would not want to go and discriminate against anyone who is involved in political movements. I have to respect that. This is what democracy permits us to have today. But no, there are some people who have been inboxing me on Messenger. There are those who used to talk to me and they're asking me if I can send them €100 or send them that. And there are some of them who have been talking to me. I've been shocked. I had my little business in the community. I tried my best to get support, but nothing was coming my way. So now I re-migrated to see if I can restart all over again. But some of the people who were not in my favor, who have not been supported to me without even giving me a chance to explain myself, they have made me public enemy on that side, which I believe that is a kind of archaic attitude that we have had for a couple of years. I think from since the time of the Freedom Party, that type of radical has been existed, not only on the Labour Party. So what I am saying now is, I was talking to one person who told me, boy, listen, who told me she's going to put the switch on in her dining room and there is static that comes from the switch in that given house is recently close to the PHL secondary school. And she's telling me not to call my name. No, Papa, I don't want them to put me out. No, I said, but I cannot understand that. So she tells him, she told me once She was in her house and she having a pool water coming from the toilet. When she went, people waste from the toilet was coming from her toilet on the floor. So in other words, the extract was coming through that because of the network, probably was not professionally done by the Chinese. And after I asked her about what happened, she told me, well, they fix it, but it still stings where the septic tanks comes from. There's a fume that generates from the waste. Now, I am saying the secondary school is next to that area. It smells. The children are going to school there. And some of the people have get accustomed to the smell where they don't even take the smell anymore. But some people who are passing their own vehicles have to cock their nostrils to prevent them from inhaling that smell. So what I'm saying is it's going to affect the people who are working at the Pritchard Secondary School. The students are going to be affected, and those who are living in the vicinity are going to be affected on the long run. So I am not going to defend political parties because of my political party, but I believe I should stand and speak firmly in the interest of my people, because those children, they are going to be the future generation that is going to run things in the community. So we will not have a healthy community if that persists.
I'll tell you. Great point, but you're off the target this morning. So call me back when we have an open line, okay? Call me back. I allowed you because you were calling from Guadeloupe, you know? But you seem to be off subject this morning, okay? Somebody says, man, you realize that you're not hearing from forestry on the matter? Can't take your tongue at forestry, huh? So forestry, you should be a voice speaking to the issue of debauch. That's the point that McCall is making up. Thank you. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt,
yes,
you
sir.
have to understand that we have our loan. You remember that calypso? But all I want to say is that I want to remind the people of Dominica that in Debwash, the river that comes from the right when you're going towards the Central Forest Reserve, that stream is the boundary. And as soon as you cross that bridge, you're in the Central Forest Reserve. And that mine is right on the boundary of the Forest Reserve. Right on the boundary, Matt. Because the boundary is the river. I want to remind people of that. So it's like if it was in some places, they have the boundary, and outside of the boundary, they have another area of protection just to safeguard what is being protected outside of the boundary. I forget the correct term for it. But anyway, I want to let people know that this is right outside the boundary of the Central Forest Reserve. Thank you.
All right, thank you too. All right, thank you very much. It's already 10:24. There's more coming up, so stick around. We're going to take a break and we'll come back. When we come back, we'll listen to some of the comments from Pastor Rodney as it relates to some current issues on the ground. Confirmation. Remember I told you we have the electoral office with us from 1:30. Listen and listen well. We're going to come back after this break.
News Dominica DeWitt Center is now even closer to you with the opening of DeWitt Center Express, conveniently located on Cork Street, right next to Fresh Market. Get all your home improvement essentials fast with everything from tools and paints to home decor and more. Plus, enjoy the same great service you know and trust. Now, just a quick stop in the city. Visit us today at DeWitt Center Express, your partner in home improvement, now closer than ever.
Yes, but if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linus Plateau. They must tell my daughter, my family brought me to Linus after I died. And the way Linus took care of my body with respect and dignity, my jamais avec à West Special à l'émoté vivant. Linus Funeral Home, 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So long, monumo, pakite anye basu diwa. Kia 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. Evacuate to be Linus. That time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go the best chaperone. Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu Famdi, si c'est pas Linus, il a venu à l'effet.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Lyndhurst the
But I want all of you in my audience to listen to me very well, loud and clear. You mean to tell me that Rosie Douglas died on October 1st, 2000? Today is October 15th, 2025. If I can count, it's 25 years later, not true? You mean it's 25 years later, all you think he had a legacy? You mean it took you 25 years to know that? And in the case of Pierre Charles, it took you 21 years to know that. Because if I was Pierre Charles, I'd come back and slap all in the face. Because, I mean, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a real joke. And I suspect you're doing that because you're trying to save face. You're trying to buy people's heart. You will do anything to buy people's heart. To now say that after 21 and 25 years respectively, that you're honoring the legacy of service, unity, and nation building of Rosie Douglas and Pierre Charles is shameful, to say the least. I wouldn't even talk about that. People that sound hot and 4AP that can do that. You have a strong, real, strong heart that, I don't want to use a biblical word for it, to do something like that. It's a good gesture. But you have been in government all those years. You have honored every drunk, every whatever, people who just pick up anywhere and honor. And it took you that long to honor two of your outstanding leaders, whom you now want to sell to us as people who left a legacy of service, unity, and nation building. Why? And Dominicans will swallow that and clap for it and say that it's best.
It's 10:29. Of course, there's more talking points from Pastor Rodney. Remember, the confirmation process starts tomorrow. Pastor Rodney, or Dr. Rodney, his official capacity, has this warning for Dominicans at this point. Pay attention.
Reconfirmation of electors process, we understand, begins this week, Wednesday, if my dates are correct. And so that reconfirmation process starts on Wednesday and continues, or by law continues for 12 months. And if it's not complete, for another 3 months. We heard from the commissioners, both Mr. James and Mr. Shillingford, who raised an issue with regard to the rest of the commission, the unbalanced commission, that have caused an SRNO to be passed, removing the requirement that some people would use who do not have a driver's license, a social security card, and or a passport. The law required that they would be able to prove who they are, their identity, by utilizing a photograph, a birth certificate, with a justice of the peace or somebody of that stature who would initial or sign or verify that. There is an SRO, I understand, to say that that is no longer going to happen. Now, this, in my mind, has raised a few questions. And if I am correct, it means, like I often say, that in a court of law that is unbiased, then there is a matter for the court to decide. And listen to what I'm saying. It appears that the party, the incumbent party, the Dominica Labour Party, knew that already. Hence, they were doing everything possible to provide IDs for their people. Now, I don't know how they get to do that, but they said publicly that's what they were doing, facilitating the provision of IDs to get people registered. Like I said to you some time ago, there are 3 IDs that are required. A passport, that's not something that anybody can do. A driver's license, you have to take a test and pay the Inland Revenue and so on. And then a social security card, which is done by the DSS. In either of those cases, those, in my understanding, cannot be privately manufactured. But apparently they knew that that SRO was going to be passed to say that people would no longer be required to ID themselves with a photograph and a birth certificate, which says to me very loudly that there is a tipping of the scale of the balance, which is unfair in an election that is supposed to be free and fair, and probably more fair than free in that particular case. Something is certainly wrong here. Somebody is trying to disenfranchise somebody. That word disenfranchise was brought in by the Labour Party because they did not want to disenfranchise people who lived outside of the jurisdiction, people who have their residence elsewhere, people who are governed by laws in other territories, that they want to vote here. Come down here and vote and go back, because the Labour Party have the largesse of the commissions they get on the sale of the people's passport. That was said by a Labour Party person to run elections. And consequently, they think that they can pay people's tickets and do all of that and get away with it. So there is a convoluted action that is all meant for the Labour Party to be victorious at the next elections again. I'm really hoping that the people of Dominica are taking note, and not just writing notes, but taking action. And as I often say, you don't have to go public with the action you take. When the time is ripe, you just launch the action. In that particular case, though, I think people should stand up for it, both in the courts and in the city, in the country, right? We must get the RSS to come and stand with us, because the RSS supposedly is supposed to be on the side of the people. So we'll have to call the RSS back to stand with us in that regard. Okay? But that is a sufficiently critical issue. Let me tell you something. In Dominica, 50 votes can tip the balance. 50, 5-0. Okay? And if you doubt me, go back and check the elections that we have had over the last 4 years. Okay? And you will tell me if I'm incorrect. Okay? 50 votes can tip the balance one way or the other. And like I said, for me, it's not a matter of who wins. It's a matter of winning fairly. And we have seen this unfair election that the majority of us Dominicans do stand up for. So let's make it fair by standing up against unfairness. Let's go to the polls en masse and vote against injustice. Okay?
You want to listen again? I think that's worth a repeat. Pastor Dr. Randy Rodney. One more time.
Reconfirmation of electors process, we understand, begins this week, Wednesday, if my dates are correct. And so that reconfirmation process starts on Wednesday and continues, or by law continues for 12 months, and if it's not complete, for another 3 months. We heard from the commissioners, both Mr. James and Mr. Shillingford, who raised an issue with regard to the rest of the commission, the unbalanced commission, that have caused an SR&O to be passed, removing the requirement that some people would use who do not have a driver's license, a social security card, and or a passport. The law required that they would be able to prove who they are, their identity, by utilizing a photograph, a birth certificate, with a justice of the peace or somebody of that stature who would initial or sign or verify that. There is an SR&O, I understand, to say that that is no longer going to happen. Now, this, in my mind, has raised a few questions. And if I am correct, it means, like I often say, that in a court of law that is unbiased, then there is a matter for the court to decide. And listen to what I'm saying. It appears that the incumbent party, the Dominican Labour Party, knew that already. Hence, they were doing everything possible to provide IDs for their people. Now, I don't know how they get to do that, but they said publicly that's what they were doing, facilitating the provision of IDs to get people registered. Now, like I said to you some time ago, there are 3 IDs that are required. A passport, that's not something that anybody can do. A driver's license, you have to take a test and pay the Inland Revenue and so on. And then a social security card, which is done by the DSS. In either of those cases, those, in my understanding, cannot be privately manufactured. But apparently they knew that that SRO was going to be passed to say that people would no longer be required to ID themselves with a photograph and a birth certificate, which says to me very loudly that there is a tipping of the scale of the balance, which is unfair in an election that is supposed to be free and fair, and probably more fair than free in that particular case. Something is certainly wrong here. Somebody is trying to disenfranchise somebody. That word disenfranchise was brought in by the Labour Party because they did not want to disenfranchise people who lived outside of the jurisdiction, people who have their residence elsewhere, people who are governed by laws in other territories, that they want to vote here, come down here and vote and go back, because the Labour Party have the largest of the commissions they get on the sale of the people's passport. That was said by a Labour Party person to run elections. And consequently, they think that they can pay people's tickets and do all of that and get away with it. So there's a convoluted action that is all meant for the Labour Party to be victorious at the next elections again. I'm really hoping that the people of Dominica are taking note and not just writing notes, but taking action. And as I often say, you don't have to go public with the action you take. When the time is ripe, you just launch the action. In that particular case, though, I think people should stand up for it, both in the courts and in the city, in the country, right? We must get the RSS to come and stand with us, because the RSS supposedly is supposed to be on the side of the people. So we'll have to call the RSS back to stand with us in that regard. Okay, but that is a sufficiently critical issue. Let me tell you something. In Dominica, 50 votes can tip the balance. 50. Okay, and if you doubt me, go back and check the elections that we have had over the last 4 years. Okay, and you will tell me if I'm incorrect. Okay, 50 votes can tip the balance one way or the other. And like I said, for me, it's not a matter of who wins. It's a matter of winning fairly. And we have seen this unfair election that the majority of us Dominicans need to stand up for. So let's make it fair by standing up against unfairness. Let's go to the polls en masse and vote against injustice.
It's 10:42. We can take your phone calls. Remember, the reconfirmation process starts tomorrow. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Matt. Good morning to you and to your listeners, Matt.
Yes.
I read that I knew about the whatever they would recognize Rosie and Fairchild. But Matt, did that happen last weekend? And was Roosevelt carried in Dominica at the time? That happened?
What's what? Roosevelt carried what? When what?
In Dominica during that recognizing of Rosie Douglas and Fairchild?
No, he just made the announcement yesterday. The news broke yesterday. I don't know. He was in Cambodia, in Hong Kong somewhere. So I don't think he was Dominica. When they Rosie Douglas, when they had the ceremony for Rosie Douglas at his graveside, he was not in Dominica, no.
Doesn't surprise me, but good morning.
All right, thank you. All right, send that news there. The awards came out just yesterday. There's so many issues, so little time. And as I said, the electoral office will be in this afternoon from 1:30. So put your questions together. And get ready. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yeah, Matt.
Yes.
According to what the good doctor, the bona fide doctor is saying, it is somewhat like insider trading, knowing the facts secretly ahead of time and knowing that a certain legislation is going to be passed. And in the meantime, you make hay in a certain direction to give you an unfair advantage. I believe that's what the good doctor was trying to convey to us. So you see, this is a political secret They know what's coming ahead of time, and they do their due to get the advantage over the opposition. Thank you.
Cause I'm on my way. KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good. Cause I'm on my way.
What you're looking for is at the best price. What you're looking for is at the value.
Best price, best price. Everything is nice and oh, you will love the price. Convenient and easy makes shopping breezy.
The luxury of everything in one supermarket located on the riverbank with parking. Best Price open daily all week with home store decor for every room, pharmacy for all prescriptions and over-the-counter medication, supermarket for all your grocery items, fresh produce and frozen.
What you're looking for is all at Best Price.
What you're looking for is at the value.
Make home yours every day with Courts. Ooh. Get value for your money. Ooh. Courts have the best quality. Home is what you make it. Best prices and good credit. Courts have it all.
Courts, make home yours.
The views expressed during this program are not necessarily those of Wise Q95 FM Radio. Wise Q95 FM Radio has not been able to independently verify the factual correctness or the allegations and statements made during the course of this program and cannot vouch for their accuracy. Therefore, Wise Q95 FM Radio will not accept any responsibility or liability for the statements or allegations made in the course of this program.
We just have about 12 minutes. There's so many issues to explore. So many issues.
Now listening to Blessing about the gold and the digging, that's another issue. Matt, do you know a lot of the best stones, the best gemstones you find in the world come from places where there are volcanoes, because the pressure of the volcano and the heat after time with the minerals in the earth creates certain kind of stone. So if someone has a suspicion that they are looking for something else, they're not far-fetched. Maybe it's not true, but you don't know, because the fact is there's a MOU, no one knows what's in it. So they're on a quest under false pretense. I'm just saying that, okay? So nobody can say, well, I say, because I'm not certain. But it could also affect the volcanic activity and create more problem. And to Blessing point, when you take and you go through the dirt like that, check out the Demerara River in Guyana, where they have mined gold for so long and destroy the quality of the soil. It poisoned the river. A healthy river that used to give life is dead. I'm done.
The Douglas is now part of and parcel of the ruling party. And I guess they're coming up with different ideas, different things to do. It's, you know, he's thinking of different things. One thing I'll give him credit for, it's not like the people in opposition that all they do is talk on cue, say the right things, but apparently they're not doing the right things. Talk about unity, but apparently they are not coming together. Talking about united we stand. I mean, the name of the party says it, United Workers' Party. But apparently they're unable to do that. But Skerrit moves. He shakes and bakes all the time, you know? So, and he does it in order to trick the people. You know, I always wonder, you know, there's certain things that happens in Dominica that bothers me. And now and again, it crosses my wire. You know, things like this man in the valley and the Russian lady, that bothers me. You know, nobody talks about it, but that bothers me. And another thing I'm curious about was, why did Roosevelt Skerrit name the airport after not just one person, but two people at the same time? You know, that I always think about that. Yeah, I always do. Douglas Charles Airport. I always wonder why he did that. There is a reason, because these people do nothing without a reason, you know? But it's all distraction, and I hope I hope my Dominicans are getting smarter and smarter every day, because I'm hearing that what you have to do is educate the people. Are you guys getting smarter every day and understanding what is going on? I'm just saying.
We're gonna wrap it up at this point. It's already 7 minutes to the 11 o'clock hour. So many issues to explore.
Satisfaction. 29 years I spent in Dominica. I lived in Dominica almost 29 years, and I worked in the forestry in the time of Maxime, Mr. Felix Gregoire, Mr. Allington James, and Mr. James himself, the guys that formed that Edison father that formed the forestry, and Mr. Tong. And, you know, we had a crew there. Our crew in our time from 1980 to 1989, I worked with these guys. I can tell you, it was serious when you could look at a trainer, brother. And you see hunting season was serious. And you see where that big river, they have two beautiful rivers, they have a feeder, they have nobody looking about there. Where they're going to cut that bank there, that river there, you can go way up inside of there. You can just go up there and just put your mouth. You don't have to use a cup, you know, and just drink water. The water is so pure up there. And we did a good job. We used to survey the forestry of Dominica, 3 forest reserves, and not even one is used up as yet. I think my grandkids and the future generation, from the time the Chinese leave Dominica, they're going to make Dominica end up like Haiti. That's what I see. You know? Yeah. The other day, one of my friends told me, says, since our crew that was challenging the forest and forest reserve and cut forest reserve, he said, boy, since we leave, everything back up, not even the forestation.
Well, as they said, the forestry division see moo this time, huh? Those were the days, brother. Those were the days.
Against corruption and crime, and more ungrateful Dominican. Against inflation, struggling domestic violence, and the some countries resort without conscience. Now the election time is over. We have to be more watchful than ever. Watch over Dominica, it's your investment. Never leave that to government. Because when it comes to opening people's eyes, Oregon has never compromised. Because every song I song and every song I on is because you were always there standing behind me so strong. This song is for you.
Hey, Dr. Dale Dagelben, good morning to you. Happy birthday, so happy birthday. From your other half. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And from your staff members at Patient Choice in Lampoint, good morning and happy birthday, sir.
You force me to bring out the best in whoa. I owe this all to you. In all that I've been through.
Good afternoon, Matt, and to your listeners.
Good
Matt,
morning.
not only is it insider trading, the equivalent of insider trading, as Clem has said, and he's totally right on that one. But there's also a question of does the government, the incumbent, have the right to interfere in matters related to the electoral process that will give them that unfair advantage in the way that they have? Does the government have a right, while a sitting government, to pass an SR&O that affects directly the process, the electoral process, when the Electoral Commission is the one that has responsibility for everything related to the electoral process and is meant to act independent of any outside influence? That is a serious question I would like to put to somebody like Joshua Francis, a lawyer, or other lawyers who can hopefully give us advice on that, because that action, yes, the government has to go through parliament in order for them to.
Something is going on here. Let's see if we can go back to the message there. Bernard, let's where are you? Yes.
To pass legislation, regulations, etc., that assist with the management, the managerial job that the electoral office has. And once these things are passed through parliament, the electoral office can then act, execute its constitutional mandate. But can you, as a government, pass an SR&O that directly affects the operations and the results of the work of the Electoral Commission, when the Electoral Commission is meant to be acting independent of yourself or anyone else? Are we really, boy, let me tell you. Please put that question to someone like Joshua for me, please, or some other lawyer, like the gentleman representing Vescott Jones, my brother.
Of course, Joshua Francis will be our guest tomorrow at the 1 o'clock hour. He'll be here because he's been called out this morning. He'll be my guest tomorrow afternoon.
But my work is done here, and I want you to know, leave no hard feelings as I go.
Tune in at 1 o'clock for more on Talk on the Block.
It was you who made my calypso life a success. I just want to thank you. I owe it all to you. I owe it to you, my people. I owe it all to you. I owe it to you. My victories and my triumphs too. I give it all to you. And to all those who supported me, those who almost had more challenge me, you forced me to bring out the best in me. Whoa, whoa. I owe it all to you. I owe it to you, my people. In all that life is through. I owe it to you. Now I have to go. Say goodbye to Calypso and you. Is the hardest thing I ever do. I wanna talk to you, that's why I wanna say thank you. We fought hard against corruption and crime, and our ungrateful Dominican against inflation, trafficking domestic violence, and in tips of countries resort without conscience. Now that the election time is over, we have to be more watchful than ever. Watch over Dominica, it's your investment. Never leave that to government. Because when it comes to opening people's eyes, Oregon has never compromised. Because every song I sung and every song I won is because you were always there standing behind me so strong. This song is for you. I owe it all to you. I owe it to you, my people. I owe it all to you. I owe it to you. My victories and my triumphs too, I give them back to you. To all of the champions I did me, those who chanted and criticized me, you forced me to bring out the best in me. Oh, I owe this all to you. I owe it to you, my people. In all that I've been through, I owe it to you. Now I have to go. Say goodbye to Calypso and you is the hardest thing I ever do. I owe it all to you, that's why I wanna say thank you. Many friends, yes, I believe in you. And I hope my enemies have you. Because in life it's true, no matter what you do, who don't like you will never like you. What